Last week at Road America, Maxime Boisvert stole the show with the AM Class driver decimating the field on debut to win overall. In the Pro category, McCluan held off Brenner Del Mar to secure the victory, while several of his title rivals lost valuable points after a series of incidents. The tight and technical confines of Monterey, California await us tonight as we go OSRL GT3 Series Racing live next on ASN. Our venue for this evening is the virtual Laguna Seca, built in 1957 and located in Monterey, California. Laguna Seca is a world-famous 2.238-mile road course known for its dramatic elevation changes and iconic corners. The track's most famous feature is the corkscrew, a sharp left-right combination with a steep drop that challenges even the most skilled drivers. Laguna Seca has hosted a variety of premier motorsport events, including MotoGP, IndyCar, and sports car racing. Its unique layout and rich history have made it a beloved venue in the racing community, offering both drivers and fans an unforgettable experience. The format for the OSRL GT3 Series is as follows. We are finishing up practice now. It'll lead into a 15-minute, 3-lap qualifying session to determine the grid for our 45-minute feature race. The fifth season of the OSRL GT3 Series continues tonight live on the Automotive Sports Network. With Bryan, Sawyer in the production truck and Justin Robichaud next to me in the commentary box, my name is Josh Mertz as we welcome you to Monterey, California. Just a reminder, cameras all season on ASN, brought to you by Whiplash SimCams. Be sure to check them out at facebook.com/WSimCams. As always, thank you, Andrew Cardinale IV, for your camera support. Justin Robichaud, I have in my script that Maxime Boisvert ran away with AM and overall wins last week. He's like 10th in practice right now. We'll go over that in a minute. McCluan extended his points lead after Ferretti and Dan Carritto had some incidents. We have 41 cars in this entry list.
Ooh.
How are you? What are your thoughts?
Wow. What a whole bunch of fun. And I'm just updating chat now. Brian Coxon, it looks like he stole pole from practice at the last minute with a 121.723, Josh. So that's a fantastic run from Brian Coxon there, really stamping it at the end. We'll see how things go in qualifying, but you're right, 41 cars. It was 40 just moments before going live, and 41 is unreal here. I'm going to be surprised if we get through lap one without any calamity. But if we exercise some patience here tonight, Josh, I think everyone can get through here relatively clean. But navigating that corkscrew and these fast sweeping corners is going to be difficult in traffic. It'll be something we'll want to watch tonight, Josh, for sure.
As Maxime Boisvert, last week's winner, first car on track, we're going to take a look at the Drivers' Championships entering here in Monterey. On top in the pro standings, it's McCluan. Then it's Corey Allen, Dan Carritto, Ferretti, and Josh Blum. Carritto and Ferretti had separate incidents last week. Dropped them a couple spots. Peter Hopp and Ian Bacadis, 8 points between those two in the AM class. And in the Teams Championship, we got Super Speeders 8 points ahead of Saints and Sinners Pro. Midwest Motorsports in 3rd and 4th. EHM 5th and 6th. Saints and Sinners AM as we take a look down the order. And the Manufacturers Championship, Corvette still leads over Porsche. Then it's Ferrari, Mercedes-Benz, BMW. The manufacturers aren't there, but the points are correct, I believe. So it's Corvette, Porsche, Ferrari, Mercedes, BMW, Mustang, Lamborghini, and Audi. So first car on track in qualifying on a timed lap. Last week's winner, Maxime Boisvert. Like I said in the opener, 8th in practice. Down to turn number 2, technically, as the kink past the start finishes the first corner. Andretti hairpin. And into turn number 3. Relatively simple layout on paper, but Justin, with all the elevation changes here, and especially the corkscrew, it's going to be super exciting to watch.
Oh, you're right. This is not a traditional track on a schedule like GT3. This track, I believe it's rarely raced in a lot of major circuits now for, safety reasons? Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah.
Safety reasons and houses being built around the track.
Okay, well, there you go. Yeah. So, anyways, a very tricky track as it is in real life. So this track, it's very, very fun to just kind of go off kilt a bit and just have some fun. Just unwind a little bit, because this is a track, I think it's really meant or designed really now for slower cars. So these high downforce cars should bring a lot of fun if we can keep it clean.
So Boisvert will dive into turn number 11, hard braking, clips the curve on apex. You can run pretty far out onto the AstroTurf. Got to come back before the AstroTurf goes away. Across the line, last week's winner will set the benchmark, 1 minute 22.293, right on his pace from practice, it looked like, as Dan Carrito begins his first lap. Nick Johnson across the line, 1 minute 21.983. Dakota Knapp across the line, 23.4. Nick Vincent, 24.9. Terpstra, 23.8. Everybody running laps. Lap 2, Branham's lap didn't count. Cartwright, 24.1. Stephen Ryan will cross the line. His lap does not count. Josh Blum, 1 minute 22.3. So Nick Johnson holds provisional pole currently. Granted, after the first lap, but with 41 cars, it's going to be quite the cluster to go through qualifying. So you have to bear with us here.
Seriously, Maxime Boisvert there off the corner, just ahead of the corkscrew here. So it goes a bit wide, makes a mistake there. A lot of cars out there right now, so we're really just going to watch this timing screen. Brenner Del Mar shoots himself into 4th position there with a great 123.057. 121.723 is the benchmark in practice so far today, so we're going to keep that in our back pocket.
Across the line, 1 minute 22.2 for the championship leader. He is that second? No, 4th.
And Brian Coxon jumps up to second with a 122.019.
22.0 for Carrito.
Wow, third place right
across
there.
The line in the 717. That second lap does not count. He's going to be on his third lap. Feel free to interrupt me if you're paying attention to other drivers. We got Dakota Knapp across the line. 1 minute down. The lap didn't count for Dakota Knapp in the 94. As that Heartland Motorsport team made their debut. I didn't realize, but I think Boisvert is teammates with them. So he won on debut for that team making their debut last week in Road America in Wisconsin. Coxon, like you said, second quickest right now at a 22.0. Josh Blum, 22.076. We have 4 cars within a 1/10 of a second.
Wow. Unbelievable.
All 3 of us just said wow at the same time. We be like our bias here for a second.
Our keyword. It's our keyword. It should just be our mission statement at this point.
Look at the paint on Eric Dubois making his debut, I do believe. Going to be biased for 2 seconds. One of our NASA boys. And Dubois, very good behind the controls of a paint program.
That's nice. That's nice. Very well done.
So, Rob Peretti, P1 by 0.3 of a second.
Oh, boy. And that's faster than our benchmark set in practice, too, Josh.
Coxon slices that in half. They are on their final laps. It's Ferretti versus Coxon, it looks like. Where is McCluan? McCluan has his third lap, so now this final run in qualifying, and you know, Justin, that Rob Ferretti wants to get redemption. He's off the track. Commentators curse. That lap's going to be invalidated.
It will. So he's still sitting on pole right now. That's his last one. We'll see what happens here. Coxon in second place. There's a bit of shuffling happening now. Terpstra up to 19th. So we had a jump from Corey Allen as well to 10th.
Just to update you, we have 43 cars now. 43 cars?
Oh, boy. That's going to be nuts.
Brian Coxon up the Rahal Straight to the corkscrew. Several stories of a drop down this hill. You can't see the second apex. You have to hope. And
him and Ferretti are neck and neck on the track at the moment in their laps. They're basically pretty near at the same spot.
Ferretti, though, that lap's not going to count because he went off exiting turn 4. Coxon gives it up.
Coxon gives it up, too.
Carrito is Dan Carrito's the next car on track on his second lap. Gene McCluan exits the final corner. Let's find our points leader in this 9:22. McCluan will cross the line. What will he do on his third lap? 1 minute 22.3. He does not improve.
No, not enough, not enough. And off screen, Brenner Del Mar shoots up to 9th place and jumps off on his final lap, so he gets into the top 10. But that's it for him.
Dan Carrito through turn 10, through turn 11 on his second lap. He will have 1 lap left. He's the only car in the top 10 to have a final lap. He ends his second lap. The man from New York. The lap doesn't count. He gave it up. We've got 1 lap left for Carrito. Several cars not making runs just yet. An impressive entry list. I'm going to publicly say, proud of the boys at OSRL. 43 cars this evening. It is going to be super fun to watch. Thanks for joining us tonight as we still look at Dan Carrito in the 320. Currently sitting 4th. He's 4/10 down on Ferretti, Justin.
He is 4/10, and he's on a decent little run here. He's looking good, dipping the tire off. He's giving it his all.
I just got news. Maybe it's delayed and I didn't see it. Ferretti's got an end-of-line penalty. I think he's going to start from the back of the field.
Oh, get out. Whoa, that's a game changer here on the storyline tonight, Josh.
Just looked at my Discord. It was at 7:38. No, it's brand new from Ethan Halsey. He gets bonus points if he holds pole position. He's going to have to start 43rd shotgun on this field.
Whoa, boy.
Wow.
So those points are nice, but wow, Brian Coxon now technically sitting in provisional pole with that, Josh. So that's an interesting take here tonight. A little bit of drama sprinkled in.
If we remember from
crazy track.
As Carrito gave that lap up in the corkscrew, so he is done and dusted. The issue from Ferretti, when he made contact with Ethan Halsey last week in Canada Corner, dive bombed literally from 7 car lengths back, made contact with the 61. And that is an avoidable contact penalty that he was given. First car on track that I'm seeing is Hector Colazzo, the defending, technically not defending, former GTP champion of the OSRL GT Series. He begins his second lap. His first lap did not count. So the Corvette.
Some off-track issues
JP
here,
DeFino finishing his run. Matt Schlosser's on a run as well in the 400. But I think let's try and find Schlosser here. Or Odell, sorry. Michael Odell in the 97 off of the final corner. He crosses the line, currently sitting 11th. He does not improve. The lap does not count. Christian Zarat is exiting the pit lane in the 7 to begin his run. Zachary Trevino across the line to end his run in the 16, currently sitting 17th. He improves to 12th. Good lap.
Oh, that's a great little lap from him. And Jeff Cartwright finishes off his last lap of
22nd for the gentleman driver from New York. Peter Hopp off the track in the 77. Omar Azvito on his second lap in the 18 in the Audi. And just a couple programming notes as we work through qualifying on the Automotive Sports Network. Next week for the OSRL GT3 Series, we do go to Circuit des Spa-Francorchamps in Belgium for round 8 of the championship. That'll be next Thursday, the 15th of August, 8:25 p.m. Eastern Time. Bryan Sawyer, Justin Robichaud, myself, Josh Mertz for that. And just a reminder, the Overwatch Specialty Service NASA Rallycross Challenge, the 31st season, will restart at the end of August with our testing weeks. And competition proper begins in September. All the info, nasasimracing.com. That's going to be super fun as well. I guess I'll publicly say as well, I think we have a Discord link. We do have the QR code at the bottom of the ticker there. OSRL beginning an IndyCar Series League. I think it's going to be Tuesdays. Don't quote me. Just join the Discord and come hang out. It's going to be super fun. The first season will not be broadcasted. It's going to be 6 weeks, I think. But the second week should be broadcasted here, or second season, sorry, on the Automotive Sports Network. So, Michael Odell has finished his qualifying run. I'm just taking a look through the field here, Justin. I think do we have anybody? Matt Schlosser improved to 27th. I think everybody's pretty done and dusted here, except for Christian Zarat in the 7.
Looks to be. Everybody out on the track now. Peter Hopp on a oh, he's parked, actually. No, you're right. Everyone either just soaking up some extra time on the track or just kind of puttering around. That looks like that's it. Yeah, I think the only note while we were going through programming notes was Hector Colazzo comes in with a 1:23.170. It's his only lap to count. It brings him up to 19th, Josh. So one of our contenders struggling here at a track like Laguna Seca.
Speaking of struggling, we will have Rob Ferretti, of course, like we've documented. He just posted in the general chat in their Discord a meme picture of Jenson Button and Fernando Alonso sitting on tires with a pit board that says, "Congratulations, 105 place grid penalty," which it'll feel like it because he's going to probably start exiting turn 10 when the field is at the start-finish line.
Excellent. I love it. That's a great little meme. It's too bad. We should almost maybe work on like a picture screen where we can bring up something in the middle of the from something like Discord. That might be hard to do on the fly. Brian's like going in the background, like, that might be tough. But anyways, that's a funny meme. You can imagine it. That's what it's gonna feel like for sure. It's gonna be tough. That's a big order. Start from what? It looks like it might be about 43. What are we saying? 42, 43? Oh my God.
There's 45 cars.
Oh my gosh. They're lining up at the door. They don't even have time to get everyone filed in for qualifying. There's so many. So that's a lot of drivers to come out and try and pass tonight, Josh. But I mean, we've seen worse things happen. The track here, you have to suspect there might be a little bit of accordioning happening. There's a lot of drivers. We're going to head into a corkscrew here. There could be some calamity, some issues. He could maybe move up real quick. We'll see. There's a pit stop too to worry about, Josh. But yeah, it looks like everybody just kind of puttering around now. Christian Zarate rolling. I think he's one of our only drivers really pushing at the moment. Seems to be on his final lap here.
He's on his second of 2 laps in the BMW. A lot of the newer drivers in this series, given the car count we have this evening, we will see a pit stop tonight. The cars are capped at 50% of their fuel capacity, so we will see a pit stop. And it's a matter, of course, the track supports all these grid spots, right? Or the grid spots and the pit stops, right? But at least from my experience, you're going to go from qualifying to race, and correct me if I'm wrong, Justin, and maybe we both don't know, but I think the grid spots are set by your qualifying order. My point is, you're not going to know where your pit box is. You don't have a warm-up. You begin qualifying at the end of pit lane, and then you go racing. So with 43 cars, that's going to be an interesting challenge as well.
Definitely. You'll rely heavily on that spotter tonight. You'll be you'll definitely see who has the spotter fine-tuned and who's messed with the settings a little bit. I know mine, using Crew Chief, he gives me warnings like every 100 meters. It's almost more frequent as Christian Zarate makes a little bit of a mistake there, goes off. It gets more frequent, so mine will say 500 meters, 250 meters, 100 meters. So I kind of have an idea, and then I can use that to zero in on my paddleboard. But yeah, with a lot of drivers going in, it's very possible to get that mixed up. We've seen people overshoot their grids before, their spots, and that's a huge mistake. It's tough to find reverse gear in these cars sometimes. To get it dialed in and locked in, you have to shoot backwards. That's precious time lost in a pit strategy game where those couple seconds could be the difference in a few positions.
Piggybacking off of what we had mentioned as well, not only do people not know where they're gridding or they're pitting, but with the way the pit lane entry is, very tricky to get right, depending on your opinion, really. I mean, I ran it in the IndyCar. You can brake hard, and then it's a right and a left. You could really hit the pit lane limiter, but you also had people, not only in the virtual world, but in the real world, champions, Scott Dixon this year in IndyCar, crash in the pit lane because it's such a difficult entry to get right. So 44 cars, as Ethan Halsey said on Race Control Chat, getting ready for 45 minutes. And Jess, if you're watching, which I know you are, this is going to be a short because this is going to be hilarious. Rob Ferretti technically on pole position. Throw him to the back. He has an end-of-line penalty. It's Brian Coxon, Nick Johnson, Dan Corretto, Josh Blum, Lucas Hill, Gene McCluan, Maxime Boisvert. I promise I'm going to breathe during this. Then we have... Oh, it's broken, so we're trying our best. I'm just going to keep reading. We'll catch up with me when you can. Brenner Del Mar, Nathan Branham, Michael Odell, Zachary Trevino, Corey Allen, Ben Gary, Ethan Halsey, Aaron Beaver, Ryan Gabato, Chris Wilkie, Hector Colazzo, Wanchi Rakenna. That's the top 20. Dakota Knapp, Hunter Terpstra, Jeff Cartwright, Ian Bacadis, Peter Hopp, Mark Blizzard, Matt Schlosser, Jared Kelly, Christian Zarate, JP DeFino in 30th. Aaron Hallroyd, Omar Esvito, Nick Vincent, Kyle O'Grady, Nelson Torres, Tyler Crow, Eric Dubois, Stephen Ryan, Kevin Keinitz, Jack Clark through 40th, 41st Henning Farva, 42nd Donnie Heineman, 43rd Dennis Puckett, 44th Jacob Krask, iRacing is broken with Bryan's stuff because there's so many cars, so apologies there. 44 cars.
Wow.
I'm going to try my hardest. This is going to be a good time. Thanks for joining us. And Justin, I think you're excited just like I am. What are you thinking before we go green?
Oh, dude, I like this track a lot because it's got a lot of good memories for me. Laguna Seca. When I think Laguna Seca, maybe there's a few MotoGP fans out there, but I think of that epic battle between Valentino Rossi and Casey. I think it was Casey Stoner. I'm thinking right now. My mind's a little bit foggy. But yeah, a little bit of contact on motorcycles in the final corner for a win. And it's just, yeah, that was a crazy battle. And I'm gonna have to go look up the details again. It's been a little while, but that's a highlight I'll never not watch when I see it come up. And that's what I think of when I think of Laguna Seca. But it's such a fun track. I'm honestly a bit nervous to see these guys go down the corkscrew for the first time. I'm really hoping there's a lot of patience out there. But that's what I'll be looking for here.
We begin to roll
holding my
in
breath.
Laguna Seca. I'm going to try my best to keep an eye on everybody. We are restarting our graphics, so apologies there. Ferretti's going to have to let everybody by, and I talked about them going green in turn 10. Safety car is off. We've got 44 cars. The field is in the hands of Bryan Coxon. Thanks for joining us on ASN as we get ready to go green here in Monterey in California. Oh, boy. Get ready.
Oh, boy's
green
right.
flag.
Oh, boy's right.
Off the line, Coxon gets a good start. Side-by-side, Nick Johnson and Carrito. Then it's Blum as we go through the field. Pretty side-by-side throughout. One car across. Corey Allen into the field. One car around. It's Gabato. One of the teammates to Boisvert's involved. Dakota Knapp. Boisvert himself. No, it's Aaron Beaver. Blocked the track. Came across. There's probably 4 or 5 cars. Everybody off the throttle, on the brakes to avoid it. Single file for the top 5, 6, side-by-side, Branham and Gary into turn number 4. Pushed him wide into the dirt. They touch! Around goes Branham in the 0-3. Another incident. We've got 2 incidents so far. Kyle O'Grady has spun in turn 4 in front of the field, locks it down, stays out of the way.
Wow.
And we throw a full course yellow. Aaron Beaver spins in sympathy. And we are under yellow for the second time from what I can remember here on ASN and OSRL. And Coxon leads. Justin, you pull up some replays.
Here
Wow.
we go. Let's take a look at what happened here with Rob Ferretti. Let's see. I lost Ferretti's.
Just came across. Branham just came across through turn 4, I think. Let's take a look. They're side by side.
Oh, here
Branna, yeah. That's
Corey
just 2
Allen's
cars on the first
incident.
lap.
But my camera angle is not incredible. Let's take
pull it
a
up.
peek here,
Don't worry
Bryan.
about it.
Let's pull it up. Let's see what we got for our camera. It's all we have here. But let's go, Bryan. As we got Corey Allen. He comes across. It looks like he just got a little mixed up. Comes across and causes an absolute massive pileup from everybody. Basically about 8th on back. We don't get a good angle of what happened, but to me, over the crest, it looked like he bobbed a bit and just kind of hip checked, and that's easy to do.
Just to update everyone, why are we parked? Why is 4th parked on the... Okay, Lucas Hill stopped the entire field going into turn 2.
Wow.
And we, Dennis Puckett is, I would say, mowing the grass, but he's not. He's at the beach because we're in California and it's sandy. So is Gabato in the 325. In all of this, Rob Ferretti survived. He is 33rd. And just an update, Corey Allen, I think unbelievably, well, you know what I missed? For the 3rd consecutive week, Ethan Halsey involved in an incident. Again, Le Mans, Road America, and in California, here at Laguna Seca. Not good luck for the 61.
No, that's unfortunate. Ethan having hugely paramount amounts of bad luck. It's just unbelievable. That's tough to see for any driver at all. That amount of issues in a row. It's tough. No chance to compete at that point. A couple of those incidents coming incredibly early in the race.
So Aaron Beaver, they do have a faster pair, but Beaver and Halsey are in the pit lane. So we've got Corey Allen, Colazzo, they have disconnected. So 38 cars after the big one at Laguna Seca on the first lap. We didn't even get through turn 1 technically, and we had that issue.
No kidding. And we have like 2, 3 3 pockets of drivers even threw a pace in here, Josh. Unreal. Looks like that that third group starting to bunch up a bit here, but yeah, this is crazy. This is the type of start we were kind of expecting here at Laguna Seca. I told you I was going to be clenching my jaw. I was holding my breath. I was holding my breath. I knew that yellow flag was definitely in the Barney's back pocket for sure. So like what we're on board with the safety car now, being chased down by Bryan Coxon. It's pretty tame at the moment. We'll get racing again soon, but this is wild, Josh. This is kind of it's what we expected, but it's still a lull that we don't want. It looks like these laps are counting as well. So yeah, we're gonna have a bit of a shortened race overall. There's gonna be a bit of haste in everyone's strategy, a little pep in their step, if you will. So drivers feeling like they have a little less time to make things happen. And one driver I'm thinking of right now is the 722 of Rob Ferretti. Josh, this must suck. You don't have enough time to make all that ground up, and then he's being wasted away with the safety car.
32nd is Ferretti. Ethan Halsey, race control, has changed restarts to single file. Halsey's back on track in 39th. Ryan Gabardo, have we lost him in the 325? We have not. He was just blinked off my timing screen as he drives off the road in turn number 3.
Bit of shuffling happening too, Josh. Looks like they're trying to get the lineup settled too. The Sims just kind of shuffling people around. I've seen some drivers going around. So that looks like it's all getting sorted out here too before we go again. No sign of those lights going off yet.
Lights are still on the Porsche safety car. We'll see when we hit the start-finish line if they will go off here in Laguna Seca. So Bryan Coxon leads ahead of Nick Johnson, Dan Carrito. We've got Josh Blum moved up to 4th, Lucas Hill top 5. Then it's Gene McCluan points leader in 6th. Brenner Del Mar, Maxime Boisvert, Michael Odell, and Zach Trevino in the top 10. So will we see the lights go out atop the safety car? Johnson trying to maintain heat in the tires. Lights are off the Porsche safety car.
Here we go.
For context, we're cresting turn 1 are the leaders, and Ryan Gabardo is entering the final corner. This is hopefully going to ease the chaos just a pinch.
A bit. This is wild. It's a long lineup of cars, but yes. Getting everyone single file spread out like this it should tame this yet again. We'll see what happens. There's definitely some skill disparity out on the track at the moment. There needs to be just based on qualifying jitters and little mistakes. So it's all going to boil down to patience and respect. I'm watching the 878 right now of Henning Svarva trying to get out back on track here out of the pit road here. It's a bit of a sketchy situation at the moment, just trying to navigate his way through. But yeah, everyone needs to exercise some patience, Josh. We need to get people through a few laps. We need everything to shake down, build a bit of space. No good racing is going to happen from all this tightness. If everyone's just too widing every corner, it's going to be very interesting. Those tight battles, they produce a little bit of problems. You need a bunch of very, very skilled drivers that have raced with each other to handle that kind of stuff. We're around 7 here, but a lot of newcomers to the series at the moment. But we'll see here as the drivers dive down corkscrew. We're getting real close to the end of this, Josh, to get going back again.
Bryan Coxon will, what I think is going to happen, chaos. What I hope is going to happen, definitely not chaos.
Right there with
Bryan Coxon leads Nick Johnson, Dan Carrito, Josh Blum, Lucas Hill. That's going to be the top 5. We're going to have a single file restart. And we are, let's call it 8 or 9 minutes into this race. And we are going back green. Let's forget that restart, that original start happened. We are single file on lap 4 here in Laguna Seca. The field exiting the corkscrew, and Bryan Coxon is stepped on the gas pedal. We're green at the front of the field. Nick Johnson, Carrito, Blum, Lucas Hill. And this single file start, very crucial. But all these guys in the back of the field were 2 corners behind as we took the green flag. We're 3 wide in the back of the field. Coming across, Peter Hopp and Kyle O'Grady have crashed in the final corner. in front of Ethan Halsey, among others. Stephen Ryan ducks to the pit lane. And still chaos in the back, Justin.
Oh, it sure is. And it's still happening.
Back Trevino has
just
spun in
down.
turn 4, looped it and spun it. We look at the fight for 13th between Terpstra, Zarat, and Chris Wilkie. Looks like Terpstra gave up a few spots. Gene McCluan has gotten by Brenner Del Mar. Del Mar deep on the brakes, nearly into his teammate. McCluan up front. 3 wide in the dirt. So many battles to keep an eye on. Schlosser, Terpstra, Cartwright deep on the brakes. Zarat peaks to the middle. We're trying to keep an eye on so many battles. Terpstra loses another spot in the Gold Bar Lamborghini for Squadra Course.
The battle for 5th is done. It looks like John McCluan gets spun by Brenner Del Mar.
Johnson goes to the lead in the 717. We're going to try and keep an eye on everything that we can, but Bryan Coxon loses the lead in the final corner. Slipstreaming down to turn number 2. Looks to the inside. Coxon on Johnson. Corvette versus Porsche. Johnson closes the door. Corretto's there. Lucas Hill. What happened to our points leader?
Let's go back. I've got it right up on the screen. Let's run that replay right back real quick. We got John McCluan. It's in the last sector here. He gets tied up with Brenner Del Mar and gets spun. Brenner Del Mar was off the track. Yeah, he did everything he could. There was a little bit of netcode issues there, but it was mostly just a better exit and a poor entry from John McCluan there. Gets tied up with Brenner Del Mar and ends his race. He rejoins a little bit messy, gets back on the track, but drops a lot. You're right. Yeah.
We're going to see if he can maintain this championship lead. He had a decent advantage coming into tonight at Laguna Seca, but he is obviously going to lose some spots, especially with Coxon and Corretto. Battle for 24th, Nick Vincent, Kevin Kynitz, and Omar Esvito. And we got Rob Ferretti in this mix. Esvito to the inside of Vincent in the 2 Audis, I should say. Ferretti looks to the inside, tried to go to the dirt. Are we going to be 3 wide in the corkscrew? Ferretti gives the 18 of Esvito a little bit of a nudge. 1 car deep on the inside. It's Torres shoving Ferretti out of the way. Side by side, exiting the corkscrew. Ferretti holds it. No, he doesn't.
Wow.
Fighting back is the Ferrari, nearly into the Porsche. Lucas Hill goes fastest.
Tapping of the brakes. Oh, wow. And Torres felt almost a bit, he seemed a bit impatient there behind Rob Ferretti. Rob Ferretti feels absolutely the pressure.
Battle for 9th, Dakota Knapp and Wanchi Rakenna. Our timing screens, like we always say, like a Christmas tree right now. So we're trying to find the closest battle. Battle for the lead is still heating up. It's under 0.2 of a second. Coxon had a great run off of turn 4. I think we're already going to have to pull side by side here, boys. There's no way that let's focus on the leader, and then you guys can pull up a battle on Justin's monitor there.
Yeah, actually, if he's got the lead, let's call whatever else.
Johnson and Coxon up front. You guys pull it up. I'll keep an eye on these two. Let's try and, I don't even know. There's so many battles going on with all these 40 cars.
I can't even pick. Let's watch Wanchi Rakenna getting hunted down, or hunting down Dakota Knapp, sorry.
Rakenna in front of Ben Gary, behind Dakota Knapp. Knapp got involved in that accident last week with Corretto at Road America. We've got Rob Ferretti, I just noticed on the timing screen, moved up to 24th ahead of Omar Esvito. Rakenna and Knapp side by side on the final corner. Down the front straightaway, cresting turn 1, down to the Andretti hairpin. Plenty of respect between these two. Over the crest, down to turn number 2. Knapp didn't use all of the road defending on Rakenna. Rakenna to the inside, through the first apex, through the second apex. And Rakenna moves up a spot to 9th. And Ben Gary all over the rear wing of the 94 of Knapp. Off the road goes Rakenna. We ride on board the Porsche. Car number 2. Battle for the lead as well on the left. It's Nick Johnson ahead of Bryan Coxon. If these two make a mistake, Dan Corretto 3/4 of a second behind them, but he's got Lucas Hill all over the rear wing of that Ferrari. And those two are teammates. Lucas Hill and Corretto.
Wow.
And Rakenna holding off. Is that Knapp there in the 94. Through the corkscrew of the leaders.
Using all the course too. Like he's feeling the pressure from Dakota Knapp here from 10th position. because he's got Ben Gary right on his tail as well. So this is a
Back
crazy
up
little
front.
battle there for the night.
4 cars under a blanket, 4 cars within a second. It's Nick Johnson, Brian Coxon, and the 2 Ferraris of Corrido and Lucas Hill. So we got super speeders, Midwest Motorsports, Saints and Sinners. They are 3rd and 4th and 5th with Brenner Del Mar. So the squad from New York representing, can we be NASA biased for 2 seconds? NASA boys 3rd through 5th. I just want to say that one. Into turns 2 and 3. Nick Johnson holds it over Brian Coxon. Maxime Boisvert as well sneaking into this picture. And I just can't help but think of our points leader, Gene McCluan, down in 17th, stuck in traffic along with Rob Ferretti. This is exactly what the other guys up front want to see, Justin.
Oh, sure it is. And there's battles everywhere. I'm trying to find out what's going on here. John McCluan
passes Terpstra for 16th.
He does. You're right. That's what I was looking at right there. He does make the pass. And you know what? Let's give some props here real quick. I don't know if we have... Oh, there's so much going on. But Hunter Terpstra's Lamborghini. Oh, wow. He gets absolutely blitzed by John McCluan in the first corner here. But that Lamborghini's looking awful nice, Josh. It's got got a little bit of a Tron look.
The gold bar livery is
yes.
what it was coined when I was in the chat earlier on with them. So we still focus on the lead. Of course, we haven't forgotten about the rest of the field. Rob Ferretti, I'm just peeking on timing. He has gotten by Kevin Kynitz for 22nd. Looking through timing, DeFino and Omar Esvito right behind them. DeFino dipped the right rear onto the dirt in turn number 6, but he saved it. And the battle for the lead, they're not letting each other get away from each other here. Johnson, Coxon, Corrido, Hill. Del Mar's kind of fallen off. Boisvert's kind of fallen off. Let's get a lap time update. This is going to be spicy. 1 minute 23.169 for Johnson. 23.164 for Coxon. 23.2 for Corrido. Johnson missed the breaking point of turn 2. Opened the door for Coxon. Coxon couldn't do anything. Lucas Hill, a couple tenths, or rather a tenth off of the top 2. So, looking through the field on timing, the battle for the lead is the closest one that we have currently. McCluan 16th, Ferretti 22nd. Remember, Rob Ferretti had an incident last week in Road America. He had to start from 43rd, shotgun on this field. We had an incident on the first lap if you're just joining us, and points leader Gene McCluan had an incident as well. Top 4 under a blanket.
If Bryan wants to bring up that side-by-side too, I'm watching Aaron Holroyd from 21st. He's getting hunted down by Rob Ferretti. That last lap, it was a little over a second faster for Rob Ferretti. So I think we're poised, if you will, to see a pass here as we're on board with Holroyd now. My cameras are just kind of doing their own thing at the moment. This should come off here soon. That's
no worries. We just go with the flow.
Mixed in there, yeah. Rob Ferretti's making ground. It looks like he's going to make something happen here too. He's already gained about a car length through just the first sector here.
I want to bring up, we are about to lap Stephen Ryan. First bit of lap traffic, and we talk about in the opener the tight and technical confines here at Laguna Seca. It's very hard to pass.
You're right.
You're in a lapped car. The lapped car, of course, blue flags, you politely get out of the way. But where are you going to get out of the way is the question.
No kidding. No kidding, as we see, Aaron Holroyd almost deletes himself off the track to get out of the way of Rob Ferretti. Rob Ferretti was flashing his lights there at the back stretch, wanted to get away by. And boy, did he ever. He gets a couple positions there, and the little shakiness from Holroyd.
Points leader had an issue trying to pass Christian Zarat for 15th. He locked up and looped it and lost another spot to Ian Bacadis. Omar Esvito letting the field by. I think he might have gotten a slowdown. He's in 25th. The field approaching Stephen Ryan as we take a second look at McCluan down to turn number 2. Locked up the left front, it looked like, over-rotated and looped it. Around he went.
Ow! Awful. Running very aggressive right now is John McCluan, and I mean, I would be too, Josh. There's a point where you just got to start making some.
Let's take a look at Halsey in the 61. I'm trying to take a look at the leaders making their way through, and it looks like Halsey spun in turn number 3. Stephen Ryan has gotten out of the way of the top 4, top 5, make it top 6. That has brought the top 5 rather, within a second and a half. One car looped it in front. It was Jacob Krask. He got off the road, so the top 5 are within 1.5 seconds, Justin.
They are, and they're passing some lap traffic here now, and this is where it gets a little bit interesting. They seem to get by through turn 1 very nicely, but Wow, what a race from the top 5 here. We have someone coming out of pit road too. Almost has to check up and wait because traffic is so deep. It's unbelievable.
Svarva is the next car to be lapped. He is in turn 6 in the Porsche. I want to bring up the AM class battle. There isn't one. Lucas Hill is in 4th, as you see on the timing screen. 10th is Ben Gary. They are separated by, let's call it 9 seconds. So unless there's an issue with the AM leader, Lucas Hill, we might see him win in that class. But he is in the thick of the battle for the overall win. Granted, we are only, well, we're already basically 20 minutes in. Goes quick.
Kidding. No kidding. And 4 out of the top 6 cars, Josh, are Ferraris. So these mid-engine vehicles, the Porsche, Chevy, the Corvette, the Ferrari, shining here tonight at Laguna Seca. Look at this beautiful lineup here for 1 through 5. What a fantastic race. You can't ask for better racing from our top few, Josh. And this is where it gets exciting because any little bit of a mistake, there's only a car length between all these guys here. Any small mistake.
I'm keeping an eye on, excuse me there, Rob Ferretti slicing his way through the field. He's 21st, looks to the inside of Jared Kelly in the final corner. Clips the curb, gets by the Mustang of Kelly, move him up to 20th. And we've got Halsey in the pit lane after his incident. We've got JP DeFino on the back of Aaron Hallroyd, but I wish we could step away from the battle for the lead, but with 5 cars within a second and a half, they're coming up on Henning Svarva now. Will we see Svarva get out of the way in a good place, or will we have an issue? We're out on board Nick Johnson, race leader in the 717. Into the corkscrew, down to second gear, over and down the crest. Coxon in the Corvette, Carrito, Hill, and Del Mar, all for Saints and Sinners in the Ferraris. Maxime Boisvert right behind these guys in 6th. Got Dakota Knapp trying to battle Ben Gary. And so much going on. Ferretti trying to tear his way through the field. Ian Bacadis goes off the track, so 1 spot gained for Ferretti. Dakota Knapp in 10th. As we see pit stops beginning. Johnson, Coxon, Carrito, and Hill. So Henning Svarva has gotten out of the way of the race leaders. Coxon got a better run through turn 3. Down to turn 4. Better apex. We get a better exit off of the corner. It's a car length between the Porsche and the Chevy Corvette. Then it's a further car length and a half. Back to Carrito in the Ferrari through turn 5 up to turn 6. Such a tricky corner to get right. You can't see the apex on turn in. You can clip the curb, end up in the gravel. Both of them respecting the curbs. Carrito, Hill, and Del Mar. If anything goes wrong, Coxon's got a good run up the Rahal straight to the corkscrew. He still has plenty of time to make a move. I'd love to step aside at any point, but Coxon's got a good run through the corkscrew. Will he be able to take the fight? Over under on Johnson. He can't make it happen. Here comes Carrito, 2 for 1, and the man from New York takes the lead. We touch at turn 10. Johnson goes from 1st to 5th. Carrito, Hill, and Del Mar. Saints and Sinners go to 1 through 3 in the span of 1 corner in Laguna Seca. Wow. Carrito leads now. Hill, then it's Del Mar, then it's Boisvert. Coxon, where is Nick Johnson? Johnson is down to 8th spot. Coxon to the inside of Boisvert. Bryan, we're going to take a break now. Let's step aside. Won't miss a thing side by side. What a battle in Laguna Seca.
You're so interesting.
I love your browser history.
I like that you're not hiding anything from me.
By the way, nice IP address. I like your neighborhood.
You are so special. This ad is just for you.
I learned so many things from you.
You are so generous with your personal data.
Switch on privacy, switch off trackers and viruses. Go to nordvpn.com. NordVPN. Safely be you.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Absolutely be doing what he has to do. He has to go for the championship. He has to recover the points that he lost. He's down the race, takes the lead in the 12. What a move. And he takes the lead and holds it.
Side between these two and turn one. This is going to get spicy.
Exiting turn one, over the jump to begin the first lap, clogging the inside line. McCluan contact between them. They are still side by side. This opens the door for Wetz. He can't make anything happen. From the 26, he has not won in quite some time. Dragster acing the entry to turn one, up heading to the inside of Magnus, gives him a nudge. The grip strip on the inside, Phil. Wetz had a little bit better run, but looks like Ronnie's going to hold the spot. We welcome you back to Laguna, Seca in Monterey, California for the OSRL GT3 Series. Bryan Sawyer in the production truck, Justin Robichaud alongside me. My name is Josh Mertz. As we unpack what we just saw, we had Dan Carrito, Lucas Hill, Brenner Del Mar. They were third through fifth, the Saints and Sinners cars, going through turn 10. Nick Johnson and Brian Coxon touched, opened the door for the Saints and Sinners team, and it has flipped the complexion of this race upside down. So, just a reminder, if you like what you see tonight, be sure to like and subscribe to the Automotive Sports Network on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, and ring the bell to be notified of our live streams, currently only on Thursdays, but we'll have Sunday, Monday, and Saturday as well, along with our short-form video content, courtesy of Jess, Rakowski, and cameras all season on ASN, brought to you by Whiplash SimCams. Be sure to check them out at facebook.com/WSimCams. Thank you, Andrew Cardinale IV, for your camera support. We're also looking for additional staff, I guess you could say, for the Automotive Sports Network, particularly someone that can push some buttons and listen to us ramble and follow us for camera calls. Think asntvUSA@gmail.com, or there's a Discord link floating around somewhere. So, we're beginning / in the middle of pit stops. I don't think the leaders have pitted yet. Apologies there. We were focused on chaos that has been happening through this break. Carrito leads Hill, leads Del Mar. Maxime Boisvert now in fourth. Coxon in fifth. So, will we see some pit strategy? One car pits in the front of the leaders. It's Tyler Crow from 34th. Just a reminder, we had 44 cars take the green flag. We had an incident on the first lap. Multiple incidents on the first lap, and then we had a full course yellow. And the Saints and Sinners boys in control of this race now, Justin. Boisvert and Coxon rounding out the top five.
Oh, you love to see that. You know, we're homeboys, right, a little bit. If you break the fourth wall and take us away from ASN, we're Saints and Sinners fans because they are from NASA. They're our drivers. They're part of our inner squad. We know them very well, and it's great to see them doing good. But from an ASN perspective, this race has been dramatic. It's been crazy. It's been everything we thought it would be, and it's wild, and it's not even over yet. We're just a little past the halfway point here, and you're right. Pit stops are going to happen here for the top 10.
So Stephen Ryan spinning, exiting turn 6 in the Mustang.
That Mustang. has been turning a lot this season.
I'm going to interrupt us. Can we pick up Boisvert and Coxon for the 5th spot?
Ooh.
Coxon last lap was 2 tenths up on Boisvert. Boisvert had the pace over the field last week. I mean no disrespect when I say this, because we've seen ebbs and flows of certain cars, certain drivers. Comparative to last week, he's absolutely nowhere on pace, is the 91. But like I said, the ebbs and flows of drivers at certain tracks with certain cars. And Brian Coxon trying to make up a couple spots. And never mind, Bryan roasts me. Apparently he's got the fastest lap. Listen, I promise I pay attention, okay? His last lap was a 23.8 in relation to Dan Corritto at a 23.2, 23.0 for Hill. The Saints and Sinners boys have Jared Kelly in their way, potentially, but he should get out of the way here. Boisvert, Coxon. Just an update on our points leader, Gene McCluan, up to 11th. We've got Rob Ferretti up to 14th. Josh Blum, fastest lap at a 22.419, Justin.
Yeah, this is wild. The fastest out of the top 5 right now is Brenner Del Mar, sitting at a 122.9. He's the only one to just kind of, just a little bit, get under that 123 mark. So Brian Coxon, a little bit faster than Maxime Boisvert. You're right, this is a battle you'll want to watch soon, but Boisvert is also kind of encroaching a little bit on Brenner Del Mar here as we approach the corkscrew. Fly by some lap traffic here. It's getting incredibly dramatic late in this race here, Josh, as we have a lot of drivers on here just being passed. Lap traffic and slower guys just constantly being weaved in and out of in a track that's already tough enough to race in with traffic.
Lucas Hill looking good.
Oh boy, Boisvert goes off.
Boisvert off.
Boisvert's our first hitter. Yep, he's
from the
first.
4th spot. So Coxon moves to 4th. Just a couple programming notes before the pit stops really begin. Next week, round 8 of the OSRL GT3 series from Circuit des Spa-Francorchamps in Belgium. That is the 15th of August, 8:25 p.m. Eastern Time. You'll have Bryan, Sawyer, Justin Robichaud, myself, Josh Mertz for that. And the 31st season of the Overwatch Specialty Service NASA Rallycross Challenge. Testing restarts at the end of August. Competition proper in September. NASASimRacing.com. There's going to be 4 separate splits for Rallycross. Super exciting and excited to see where that is heading. And like I had mentioned, OSRL is going to have their IndyCar series. We're looking at Terpstra Spin in turn 10 in the gold bar car in the Lamborghini. And then the OSRL IndyCar series, we've got some test weeks going on. I think it's going to be Tuesdays is the official day. Of course, I'm not entirely sure. Don't quote me. The QR code on the ticker there for their Discord. Great group of guys. Proud to be partnered with them here at ASN. So, will we see some pit stops from the top guys? The Saints and Sinners boys kind of minding their own business. Aaron Hallroyd, Ryan Gabato for 18th. Corritto does not pit. Del Mar, I suspect those 3 are going to pit on the same lap. There's no sense in racing there, Justin.
No, I don't think so either. Really, I'm surprised none of these drivers have dropped out as well just to get out of traffic. Although you have to think, actually, now that I think about it, there are a lot of drivers on track. You really have to know where you're going to come out. You could come out into traffic too, so yeah, tough to say what I would do in this position as well. The racing has been very tight, and they're really just kind of tucked in behind each other. Probably just kind of running their groove and just going with it. They'll probably just zoned out at this point. They're going to go.
Chris Wilkie in turn 6 clipped the curb, nearly spun in front of Aaron Hallroyd. That is for 18th. I'm just taking a look through the field here.
Yeah, that battle's spicing up there too for 20th position. Quite a few drivers in the mix there. Ben Gary, Chris Wilkie, and Aaron Hallroyd.
So many different drivers all over the track here. 23 cars on the lead lap. 44 started. Dan Corritto up the hill. Chris Wilkie we're focused on now. Top 5. Josh Blum looking good as well in the 81. Lucas Hill, an impressive, what is that? 10 seconds in front of Matt Schlosser. No, it's more. It's more than that. It's 20 seconds.
Brian, get up the battle for 11th on the split screen here, too, because it looks like, yeah, it is. Zarot goes for the move on Cartwright here. Cartwright actually hip checks Ferretti on the inside. We got that almost live as well. We can back that one up a little
Ferretti
bit, too,
loops
Brian,
it
if you want to.
after the contact. Yeah. Del Mar pits also in the 3rd spot. Ferretti was sending it to the inside, and I think Cartwright just had to correct it. That was just wrong place, wrong time.
I watched that happen live. Cartwright was in the middle of getting passed by Zarot. So I think he was just a little bit maybe shaken up. Makes a little bit of a move in the apex and takes out Rob Ferretti in the process. Just not intentional. I'm sure he didn't know he was there. Christian Zarot maybe just a little bit overzealous, trying to make up all that time. But now he's got to reset again from 14th, and he's all alone, just making up ground.
So Brenner Del Mar, second car from the top 5 to pit. He comes out in front of Maxime Boisvert in the 91, so no movement there. It has gone from bad to worse for Rob Ferretti. In the Porsche, we still have 31 cars on the track, in the session, I should say. And Ferretti pits, Gabato pits, car parked. It's Jack Clark in the pit lane. He was parked on the entry there. Did Ethan Halsey have another issue? He's just sitting in the pit lane. There's smoke coming from somebody, unless my iRacing is glitched, so apologies there. Carrito pits, Lucas Hill takes the lead. Brian Coxon stays out.
Well, I'm trying to find that smoke, Josh. I don't see it right now unless we've already got them towed back. But a track, you're definitely going to see some smoke on. That's for sure. I'm looking at the track map. I see a driver in every sector, almost in every corner. So literally a car in every turn on the track at the moment. It's absolutely filled. It looks like there's a battle right now. Look, Nick Johnson makes the pass. Oh, sorry. Did they make that happen down in the pit lane?
Exits the pit lane. Carrito comes out. So where is Boisvert? Boisvert might pip. Carrito stuck behind his Vito in turn 2. Here comes Maxime Boisvert in the 91. Carrito, comes out in front, but he's got a couple lapped cars in front.
Oh, off the track to get out of his way. Unbelievable.
Such a tight track to manage. Lucas Hill leads. He exits the corkscrew in the 199. I expect him to pit this time around. What will Coxon do as well? And where will this put them in the battle overall for the lead? Lucas Hill pits. Coxon does not. Coxon stays out.
What?
So, finding Del Mar. Del Mar is the first car to lead on the road. So he passes Carrito in the pit stop, or holds it in the pit stop rotation. No, he passes him. Apologies there. I think we missed it.
Yeah.
So Del Mar has taken
going
the
off.
lead. Schlosser pits. Where is Lucas Hill? He exits the pit lane. He comes out, exits the pit lane, but he's got that entire pit lane exit. Del Mar is behind Terpstra. Up turn 1, down to turn 2. I think Hill's going to hold it over his teammate. Down to turn 2. Del Mar looks to the inside of the Lamborghini, takes the spot. And Del Mar does he get passed by Hill? Like I said, it's so hard to keep track of everying that's happening here with Laguna Seca.
Once the pits start rolling in too, it gets confusing enough. Let's notwithstanding the fact that it's Laguna Seca. So right now, I mean, I'm curious to see where Brian Coxon comes out once he gets his pit road. He's pushing this car a little bit far. We'll see where he goes out. I'm keeping my eye on him.
Is he trying to go the distance? Would you try and go the distance? Can you go the distance? There's 6.5 minutes left. He's got 23 seconds.
He's diving down. Bring it up on split, Brian. I've got him down pit road. Oh, you can bring that up
Coxon
too.
pits.
That works. But
where is? I'll keep an eye on Lucas Hill.
And Brenner. Oh,
Lucas Hill leads Del Mar, leads Carrito. So the Saints and Sinners boys have flipped. Will we see Lucas Hill potentially win AM class and overall? That would happen for the second consecutive week. Coxon gets to his pit stop. I don't think he's going to hold this lead. Lucas Hill into the final corner.
No way.
6 minutes left. Coxon
no way.
stationary. He now leaves the pit box. Exits the pit lane. It's going to be Lucas Hill put to the race lead here in Laguna Seca. Down to turn 2. Coxon's going to have a slightly shorter run. This race might not be over. I might have spoken too soon. Exiting the pit lane.
He's pushing.
We've got a battle for the lead. Here's Hill. Takes the spot ahead of Coxon. No.
Files in behind.
5.5 minutes, Justin, left to go. There is 2 car lengths between the top 2. Coxon's on fresh tires if he took tires, but he's got that full tank of fuel, and Lucas Hill leads.
Oh, unbelievable. He's not leading by a whole lot. The gap's about 3/10, Josh. He's got plenty of time here in this race to make a move and set himself up. He doesn't need to push too hard. Just needs to get comfy and in a rhythm.
Gene McCluan has passed Wanchi Rakenna. Rakenna let him by, put the points leader up to 10th. Still damage limitation for the points leader. We'll have to see how the points unravel in a couple of minutes' time. Under 5 minutes left to go here in Monterey. Gap is 0.4 of a second from Lucas Hill to Bryan Coxon. We're going to have JP DeFino in the way. DeFino teammates with Lucas Hill. So will the Saints and Sinners boys play nice? I expect that DeFino will get out of the way of these guys.
Oh, absolutely. He has all night. He has all night. And if you want to bring up a second battle here, it looks like the battle for 7th from 7:17 and 97. Nick Johnson and Michael Odell is getting a little bit spicy right now. Sitting at a few tenths. And Michael Odell's looking poised to make the move here. Let's see if he can make it happen. Nick Johnson's driving really, really good right now in his Porsche as we make the dive down into T1 on that second box.
So we have a car length between Hill and Coxon. Then it's Del Mar and Carrito and Boisvert, the top 5. This race nowhere close to being over for the overall win. The Pro Class win looking good. The classes themselves are looking good. It's the interclass battle for the overall win. And like we've seen before, depending on your pace, you can get moved out of a class, and I suspect Lucas Hill might be moved out of the AM class if this race gets sealed up by him.
It's possible. This is one of Lucas Hill's first really good showings, if I'm not mistaken. So it could just be a strength and weakness thing. We've seen the ebbs and flows all season from tracks, a little bit of luck too, from what Brian's saying in these crashes.
Is out of the way. One car around. It's Dubois in front of them,
and he sits there. The right move. A lot of traffic. He's just going to sit out of the way. Great work here. Nick Johnson flashing his lights, trying to get around. Oh, some lap traffic here. Looks like that's the number 12 there, Nick Vincent. He's stuck in a sandwich with Michael Odell. Michael Odell does not like this either.
As Dubois stays out of the way, battling for 7th.
He does. Dubois. He
did not inside get white running. Johnson down to turn number 2. We don't touch. Johnson to the inside, off the road went Odell. Both of them were sideways as we take a second look with the incident that wasn't one on the front straightaway.
Dubois off on the right. Dubois running slow. He didn't quite get going again there. Is this battle really heating up with 2 drivers that are a lap down and they have to thread the needle there and make this incredible move and pass. Nick Johnson Michael Odell getting by Nick Johnson here. Nick Johnson off the track. Oh my word. And I'm watching this battle live here as we're kind of flipping around on our cameras at the moment. He's kind of watching. That's Eric Dubois just running slow on the inside. The battle for 7th is pretty crazy right now at the moment. We got Nick Johnson holding off Matt Schlosser and Gene McCluan getting in the top 10. Having a lot of bad luck this evening. And
Nick Johnson
battle here if he wants to.
All over the rear wing of Michael Odell. That is a good battle as well. Coxon, I'm not sure what happened to the 23, but the gap has widened. It's a 1.5 seconds to Lucas Hill, the race leader. And Hill runs it wide in turn 2. Did I speak too soon? Will that open it up? Coxon was a second slower the last time around from Hill. The gap is a second. Under a second now. Ferretti passes Cartwright for 15th. The man who started 44th and shotgun on the field after a penalty last week. Hill leads Coxon, still a second. Then it's a further second back to Brenner Del Mar. Then it's Carrito, then it's Boisvert. Nick Johnson, 0.5 seconds to Michael Odell. Everyone else really minding their own business. Under a minute left to go. Will this be the white flag, or will we get 2 laps to go? We'll just have to wait and see what Barney does at the flag stand.
Oh, Nick Johnson flashing his lights on Michael Odell, too. That's the battle I'm watching right now. I'm not sure if he's upset with him. 0.6 down on the 97 of Michael Odell. So a little bit of calamity there. I'm not sure if he's just upset with himself or if he just feels like there was something that went on earlier. Didn't quite
3/4 of
catch
a second is the gap. I'm not sure if it's on just my screen. We've got Lucas Hill blinking as we take the white flag in Laguna Seca. This is going to be it. Hill leads.
We're going to have another AM driver who wins.
Wouldn't speak too soon. We got a couple lapped cars in the way, and half a second is the gap. Lucas Hill, like you said, trying to be another AM driver to win overall. It happened with Bryan Coxon. It happened with Maxime Boisvert. Will it happen with Lucas Hill tonight in Monterey? 0.6 of a second. We've got a couple battles through the field. Michael Odell and Nick Johnson still raging on as well. We take a look from high above into turn number 5. Hop and Gibato racing for position for 21st, so we will not see them move out of the way. Is that blinking? I think that's on my end, guys, because he looks clear. He looks clear on the feed, so apologies there. I didn't want a commentator's curse a disconnection. Coxon racing up the Rahal straight to the corkscrew for the final time. Will he send it into the corkscrew, deep on the brakes in the Corvette behind the Ferrari? Down the crest. Rounding rainy curve, turn 9, turn 10, a couple of opportunities. If you clip the curb, you can make a mistake easily. Down to turn 10, where we had that issue earlier on between Nick Johnson and Bryan Coxon when they battled for the lead. It was Lucas Hill and his teammates that benefited. Into the final corner, Coxon tries it, he can't make it happen, and for the second consecutive week, it's an AM-class driver stealing the show overall. Lucas Hill does it in Monterey, California. Ahead of Bryan Coxon, Brenner Del Mar comes home in 3rd, then it's Dan Corretto, Maxime Boisvert at the line in 5th, Josh Blum 6th. Looks like the battle for 7th and 8th has eased off. And wow. What a race. And we talked about calamity was going to happen. It happened on the start. We had 5 cars under a blanket for that first half of the race, and it was bound to happen. Contact was bound to happen.
Just unreal. No, all those drivers moving it out in those last few laps, making it incredibly exciting here. Looks like Chris Wilkie, Christian Zarot in that final corner there. A little bit of a battle, but if this is out, Rob Ferretti comes in at 14th. Flashing his lights, probably just upset with himself, but nonetheless starts from the back. Rob Ferretti makes it to 14th overall. Fantastic little run from him here tonight, Josh.
30 spots gained. That's incredible.
Yeah, no.
With a full course yellow, with some more issues. That's a good drive. It doesn't look like it, but wow.
Yeah, you're right. No kidding. Fantastic performance there from Rob in the 722. Regardless of that, he should be proud tonight. Absolutely.
As we take the checkered flag, let's get a look at the classification as we finish here in Monterey, California at Laguna Seca. We got Lucas Hill winning overall and in the AM class. Matt Schlosser finishes 2nd in the AM class, down in 9th overall. We got Bryan Coxon winning in Pro, Brenner Del Mar, Dan Corretto, Maxime Boisvert, Josh Blum, Michael Odell, Nick Johnson, Schlosser, Gene McCluan, points leader, had some issues. He comes home in 10th. Wanchi Rakenna, Chris Wilkie in 12th. Christian Zarot, Rob Ferretti, Jeff Cartwright, Ben Gary, Nathan Branham, Kevin Kynitz, Ian Bakatis, Jared Kelly in 20th. Peter Hopp, Ryan Givato, JP DeFino, Nick Vincent. And we've got Mark Blizzard, Hunter Terpstra, Jack Clark, Nelson Torres, Aaron Hallroyd, Kyle O'Grady through 30th, Aaron Beaver, Omar Esvito, Tyler Crow, Stephen Ryan, Eric Dubois, Henning Svarva through 36th. Dakota Knapp, Jacob Krask, Dennis Puckett, Ethan Halsey, like I said, for the 3rd consecutive week. Bad luck for the man in charge here at OSRL. We got Zach Trevino, Corey Allen, Hector Colazzo, and Donnie Heineman. 44 cars. Biggest field that I've seen in quite some time. It has been chaotic. As we're going to have a chat with our top 3, it looks like, or top 4. Let's do it. So,
41.
We're going to start with Dan Corretto, 4th place. Hello, my friend. 4th place overall, 3rd place on the... We're doing Brenner first? Okay, we're doing Brenner first. So we'll move him. I promise I know what I'm doing.
Hi, Dan. Hi, Brenner.
I moved Dan Corretto back. We're going to have a chat with Brenner Del Mar, 3rd place overall, 2nd in class. Justin, all yours.
Brenner, great race tonight. It was wild from the top 5 all evening, but I'd love to hear your thoughts. Talk me through your race, buddy.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. Especially starting back in 8th or 9th. Had a good run. Had a contact with John. I don't know if it was netcode or from where I was sitting. It felt like I gave him space and he kind of caught my bumper. But after that, it was catching back up to the top 5 and kind of hanging around. And once we were Saints and Sinners 1 through 3, it was just kind of work together, pull away. And then with a pit stop coming up, I figured my only chance to make something happen was go off sequence and pit early. And I got Dan, but on the lap Lucas pit, I got stuck behind a lap car in the last couple corners, lost a bit. So, but it's super fun, super awesome.
Yeah. Lap car is huge issue tonight. Ton of drivers here at a track like Laguna Seca. How was managing traffic? Did you find it okay, or was it a little bit of a challenge?
I thought it was okay. I think a lot of the drivers did a really good job being aware when the leaders were coming through. I think that one incident, like on the pit sequence, is the only time I got held up. But yeah, super fun though.
Yeah,
I have
pits were
one
tough all
question
night.
b-
I saw some
before
drivers
we
get stuck on the pit exit too, so it was crazy. So go ahead, Josh. Get that.
maybe it was asked and I missed it. I apologize. I guess walk me through. You've got, who was it? It was Nick Johnson and Coxon battling, and next thing you know, the teammates are 1 through 3. What's your
Yeah,
thoughts on that?
I don't know if somebody got slowed down through the corkscrew, but we were going to the second last corner and it was just all hell broke loose. Luckily made a move to the inside. I don't think anyone made contact. We all just kind of made it through somehow. And when we were 1 through 3, I was like, "This is perfect. You know, we can all work together and pull away from the pack."
That was all I had, Justin. You can continue.
Oh, you're good. No, that was all I had too. Brenner, fantastic performance tonight. Let's hear your thank yous. Who would you like to thank tonight for a third place finish?
Uh, Thank you to you guys for broadcasting and making this such a fun event to do. You know, without you guys, it'd just be another iRacing race. But this really makes it interactive and a really cool experience. So
Thank you, man. Appreciate that.
Thank you, my friend.
Brenner Del Mar,
Good.
third place tonight. Fantastic job from Saints and Sinners. Thank you so much.
thank you.
Hi, Dan. It's your turn now.
Hello.
Dan Carrito, 4th place overall, 3rd in class. Justin, all yours.
Hey, Dan, fantastic race. You led a little bit there for a few laps. Talk me through your race and how does it feel to come out with 4th place
Oh, it was nice.
at a track like Laguna Seca?
It was nice. Yeah, I was generally surprised when I came out of the pits and those guys were, or actually, I think they passed me on their pits or whatever the hell happened, but I couldn't figure it out. And no, it was a good race. I can't remember. What was it? Nick and Bryan were in front of me. They got into a little thing, and I just kind of got around, got lucky.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah. So yeah, pits played a huge factor here tonight. Did you feel good with your pit strategy? Did you get it out like when you wanted?
When I wanted, yeah, but I don't know what happened. I lost 4 or 5 seconds on my pit. So.
Yeah, there were a few people that were struggling to get back out on track even. So great job, Dan. Who'd you like to thank tonight for a 4th place?
Oh, thank everyone. Thank you guys. Thank OSRL. Thank Saints and Sinners. TWRS. Import Image Racing. Thank my girlfriend. Yeah.
Thanks so much, Dan, and great performance tonight. Look forward to seeing you next week at Spa.
Have a good one.
Just a reminder, I think you won there last season, so you've got to win again.
It's gonna be rough. It's gonna be.
Good luck, my friend. Good run tonight.
Have a good one, guys.
Thanks, Dan.
I think we're going to pull up Bryan Coxon next, but we'll wait for Bryan to confirm to us, just so I promise I know what I'm doing. And Bryan Coxon will be our pro class winner and 2nd place man overall. So I'm just waiting for the go ahead from Mr. Sawyer. And there we go. So, of course, Justin handles most of the interviews, but the main question, Bryan Coxon, that I want to ask you, first of all, great run. Before I toss it to Justin, I want to hear your thoughts on that incident in turn 10, because there were 5 cars under a blanket. Next thing you know, you guys are basically 5 wide.
Yeah, what it looked like to me, I was just talking about it to the guys in the waiting room. Basically, it looked like Nick going through the left-hander. He just got slow, and I didn't really have anywhere to go where my options felt like it was go right and I just drive off the track, or go left and I understeer into him because he was on my right front. So I had to brake. Carrito got by me, I think, and then Lucas went down the inside, and my guess is Nick didn't know it was 3 wide, and he turned in thinking it was 2 wide, is my guess about kind of how it went. And I kind of just was there, didn't really, I was trying to back out if anything, but it was kind of just too far into the corner, and I think it just resulted in what I would consider to be a racing incident. But yeah, it was all a bit chaotic.
As It was impressive nonetheless, even without that incident that we had so many cars under a blanket. Justin, you got anything for our second place man?
I mean, only one question. This had to be the closest battle for like the top 5 or 6. How did that feel to run in a really, really, really big pack for that that podium position?
It was pretty fun. I was trying to do a pretty big field save because I was able to stick with Nick and not lose too much time field saving, and so I pitted a bit later than everyone. And that got me back up close to Lucas. But then by that time, the tires were just shot. So anytime I tried to break deep, the car just got really loose.
Just wanted to go. I saw one instance where you got a little bit tight. So definitely checks out for sure.
Yeah.
And I was noting that. I was wondering if you were doing some fuel saving because you did pit a lot later than everyone else. So great job, Brian. Fantastic work. Yeah, no, that's great. That's great at a track like this. That's super tough. These these corners are wild.
Yeah.
Really, the corkscrew is insane, especially some of these drivers pushing super too wide. Like let's go. Crazy racing.
Yeah.
Fantastic job, Brian, though. Good job on the overall win in class and a P2. Who'd you like to thank tonight before we let you go?
Just the guys on the team, the Midwest guys, Josh, Michael, Aaron, Ian. They're all cool. It's fun to practice with them and talk with them while we're racing and whatnot. Good guys.
Sweet. Well, the practice shows, and thanks so much, Brian. Look forward to seeing you spawn next week.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
We got one last one that we are going to have. I'll have my one question that I have, and I'll pass it off to you, Justin, like I said. So Lucas Hill, second consecutive week, and I think the third time this season, maybe even fourth, that we've had an AM class driver win overall. First of all, great run, my friend. I have one question before I pass it to Justin, like I said. What was your thought process, or walk me through from your perspective, 5 cars under a blanket in turn 10, and next thing you know, you're basically leading the race with your teammates?
Big thing is when I saw the guys in front, I noticed when Nick came across, I was like, we're going to go to the inside, and that's the only way we're going to survive. So once I saw them make that move to the outside on that corner, me and Dan just shot the inside. And I was really surprised Brenner was right behind us because I thought he was going to get caught up in an incident. But once we were kind of clear, it was just kind of sit down and just start doing laps because I don't think any of us were trying to pass each other into that moment. So.
And Justin, got anything for our race winner?
No, just you kind of covered most of it really in your response. I had a question and it was robbed from me, but on the fly, real quick, talk me through it because it must feel good to be an AM class driver, come out with a win. Would you be upset if you got moved next week to the pro class?
No, I mean, I think I've been competitive enough to race in the pro. I think this week just kind of went in my favor. I did a lot of laps this week to try and stay race consistent. So, like, I was kind of prepared for an end of race situation like that to happen. And I'm lucky that I did all them laps because if I didn't, I don't think I would be up to the front. So.
Hey, no, fantastic. And just based on the battles we saw throughout the race, that top 5, top 6 being incredibly close, this battle was most certainly hard fought. So great race tonight, Lucas. Anybody you'd like to thank before we let you go?
I'd like to thank Saints and Sinners for bringing me on. I really enjoyed the league so far, and I'm excited to get towards Rallycross when we get to that because I feel like I'm even more competitive than that. So.
That's going to be good.
Yeah, let's do it.
But good run, my friend. Good win, and we'll see you next week in Spa.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks so much, Lucas.
We're gonna have an impromptu interview here. Hi, Ethan. Don't kill me for pulling you in here, but I want to hear your thoughts. We had a wonderful race up here. Granted, you had bad luck for the third consecutive week, but I guess from a race control standpoint, what'd you think? No pressure. As I wanted to bring you in just to mention, we promoted OSRL for the viewers for a little bit. We do have the QR code, like I said, on the ticker. So kind of mentioned the IndyCar stuff as well. I said Tuesdays, not sure, didn't want to step on any toes, but I just wanted to bring that up to you and hear your thoughts on that. Justin, you got anything for Ethan?
Oh, like, how does it feel to have this many cars here at Laguna Seca?
Alrighty, my
Hey,
friend.
no kidding.
Not a good run for you personally, but a great run for the league. Very impressive. And we'll see you next week in Spa. Have a good night, my friend.
Let's see, Ethan.
Take a look at the point standings before we begin to close up this race. And I'm curious to see, as I don't have access to live points, is that still right? Gene McCluan leads still after that battle that he had. Yep. So Bryan says in my ear, drop weeks. I'll be honest, I forgot about the drop week. So that's crucial. And maybe that was the one bit of bad luck for Gene McCluan. Ferretti had another bit of bad luck with that penalty. He drops a position. But it is, what is that? 50 points, 56 points that McCluan has over Corritto. Looking very good for the Porsche driver. And Peter Hopp, it's not organized, it doesn't look like, but Peter Hopp looks like he's got a 35. So 35 point advantage. It's a little out of order there. Corey Allen drops a couple spots after crashing on the first lap. Brian Coxon moves up. Let's take a look at the Constructors' Championship exiting Monterey, California. Saints and Sinners Pro, Super Speeders, apologies for the broken graphics, is it Midwest Motorsports, Mercedes? I'm not sure if that's correct. Something happened in our spreadsheet, so let's just turn that off, because I know manufacturers is probably
no.
Welcome to ASN. We're professional. ATVO breaks sometimes. So we tried to take a look at points. We're going to take a couple programming notes, some sponsor plugs, get some final thoughts, and close this one up. So a couple programming notes before we say goodnight. We do have the OSRL GT3 series, like CEO Ethan Halsey said, at Circuit des Spa-Francorchamps for round 8 of this championship next Thursday, the 15th of August. That is 8:25 p.m. Eastern time. You'll have Bryan Sawyer in the production truck, Justin Robichaud. Apparently, I forgot how to say your name. Alongside myself, my name is Josh. It's been a long day. I think the coffee's wearing off.
You called me worse.
Robot Chicken? Yeah. NASA Rallycross Challenge, the 31st season, will begin in August. We're going to be testing at the end of this month. We're going to be in competition in September. It's going to be super fun. Got 4 Rallycross divisions to choose from. NASASimRacing.com. If you like what you saw tonight, be sure to like and subscribe to the Automotive Sports Network on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, and ring the bell to be notified of our live streams. Currently only on this Thursday slot, but we will have Sunday, Monday, and Saturday joining OSRL GT with NASA Rallycross. And down the line with OSRL IndyCar, like I said, I think it's Tuesdays. We'll expect a show on Tuesday as well. If you'd like to join us on our crew, asntvUSA.com or asntvUSA@gmail.com. And also, thank you, Jess Rakowski, for the short-form video content that you have been producing. Cameras all season on ASN, brought to you by Whiplash SimCams. Be sure to check them out at facebook.com/WSimCams. Thank you, Andrew Cardinale IV. As always, you are a legend with your camera packs. Thank you so much, my friend. Justin Robichaud, I'll start with a final thought. As normally I know that I don't do one, right? So we saw 44 cars, and I said, OMG, what's going to happen. We had that issue on the first lap. Eight or so cars crashed. We had a full course yellow, 5 cars under a blanket. We talked about last week at Road America really racing the track, which it is, right? But with 44 cars, it's racing the track here and also not pinballing into other people. But I have to piggyback off of what Ethan said. It was impressive. Very good race despite the little hiccups, I would say. And what a battle for the lead and the win.
Yeah, no kidding. That full course yellow really did reset the stage. It kind of reset everyone, got everyone's mind back into the race. Absolutely, overzealousness plays a factor in the first lap. A lot of people like to try and win it in those first few corners, and I mentioned it really early. Patience was a huge factor. It didn't look like a lot of the key people did not exercise that patience. I think we also had a couple incidents there mixed in that were just really bad luck. A little bit of a hip checking going on, some things you really just couldn't avoid, and stuff that's just going to happen going too wide. A T1, if you will, with 40 plus drivers. So crazy race overall. Awesome to see another AM class winner. So I'm just excited to go back to Spa, a nice traditional track. We'll let the guys open them up, if you will, on a real course that they've probably spent a ton of time on. So a lot of drivers will be very formidable and quite in tune by then. We're round 8. We're getting way deep into this season. A lot of drivers are getting familiar with themselves. I know we've had a lot of new drivers show up, but the racing should get just even more exciting and even better from here. So just excited to see what round 9.
As it has been
round 8, sorry.
A scintillating race tonight and a super fun season as well. And I think the checkered flag has fallen on the evening. As for all of us at the Automotive Sports Network, from Jess Rakowski, Victor Valley, Jared Lott, Justin Robichaud, once my script comes back, Cody Erdman, Ethan Halsey, and Brian Sawyer. My name is Josh Mertz. It's been a long day. I'm going to jump off of here and go to sleep. We hope you enjoyed today's coverage of the OSRL GT3 Series tonight from Laguna Seca. We congratulate Pro Class winner Brian Coxon and our AM Class and overall winner Lucas Hill. 3rd time this season that's happened, maybe even the 4th time, as super fun to watch. Be sure to join us next week in Belgium at Circuit des Spa Francorchamps. But until then, so long, everyone.